when the emotion is really dominating you, that's when your ear starts telling you what to play. The ear is really gullible, right? Physiologically, we're designed, like our body moves faster when we get pumped. We start blinking faster, breathing faster, heart's beating faster, everything goes faster. So the way the ear hears steady tempo also gets faster, right? So you're rushing, and you don't know it because your ear is telling you to rush, because what your ear thinks is steady is actually getting faster. Does that make sense? Right? So the ear's going like, come on, man, push it. I'm getting pumped, right? And it's true that maybe everyone else is also getting pumped, but they're probably not getting quite as pumped as you are. Or at least, physically speaking, they don't have an opportunity to turn that pumped upness into like swinging with your muscles at this instrument, right? So I guess I try to acknowledge what happens to me when I get pumped. Again, just observing habits. We talked about that before. Observing habits, questioning habits. Like, look at this. Every time I get pumped, I go faster. Huh. Now I'm now armed with that knowledge, right? If I took the time to actually observe that in the moment instead of just like, I call that active listening versus passive listening, and I think about that as it refers to just listening to a record. A passive listener just sits there and takes it in, and an active listener asks why, or like, what am I feeling right now? Like, that was cool. I wonder why it was cool. Like rewind maybe. Instead of like, that was nice, next. You know? Almost like the way you would taste food. You know, you're like, good. And as I've gotten older, I don't know, I taste something, I'm like, oh man, there's so many things going on there. I'm suddenly interested in that, right? That's like passive eating, or active eating versus passive eating, you know? So as a musician, I want to be actively aware of what's happening to me in those moments, right? Like, oh man, I'm getting pumped, and look I'm playing my cymbals louder. Dang it. I know I'm not supposed to do that, but boy, I'm observing that I seem to do that every time I get pumped. Right? So I'm now armed with that knowledge. Next time I'm pumped, I acknowledge to myself, I am getting pumped right now. Things are going well. This is really turning into a fun thing, and this little alarm goes off that don't play your cymbals too loud. Right? And this other little alarm from other observations says, don't rush. You know, this other little alarm says, don't start externally subdividing what you're internally subdividing. You know what I mean? I've got all these little flags because I've taken the time to put them in the ground in observing while I'm, previously playing.